Beta PCR.
That seeing is believing. But what happens when you can't believe what you see? Here are the top 10 optical illusions that will blow your mind.
There's no such thing as optical illusion.
Number 10.
This is fake.
The Herman grid illusion.
This doesn't do anything. It's fake.
This illusion tricks your mind into believing that the
It's
white
fake.
dots at the intersection of the squares are shifting in color. The dots appear to change from white to dark gray as you stare at the illusion.
It's not real.
This illusion was discovered in 1870 by a physiologist named Ludimar Herman and was therefore named after him. The illusion demonstrates a phenomenon known as lateral inhibition.
Lateral inhibition.
All of the dots are white.
All
We
the
only
dots
perceive them to be changing color. So, in actuality, we are seeing something that isn't even there.
We are seeing
There are
something that's
no
not
gray
even there.
dots.
Listen to this man. He's freaking fat.
Number 9. The Kaneza triangle.
The Kaneza triangle.
This optical illusion leads you to believe that there are 3 circles and 2 triangles.
There's 3
But
circles. No,
in
there's
reality, there are no triangles.
Yeah, I know.
There are only incomplete lines. Italian psychologist Gaetano
Gay!
Kaneza discovered this
Gaetano.
optical
He's
illusion
gay.
in 1955. The illusion
Gay.
uses one of the laws of perceptual organization called the law of closure. We tend to perceive pieces of objects as part of a whole when they are grouped together.
Y'all know Gaetano.
Therefore, we close the gaps in the objects to try to
And
make
y'all
the
know
image
Gaetano.
cohesive. Our brains are essentially
one
closing
guy
the gaps and
named
making
Gaetano.
triangles out of this optical
Gaetano.
illusion so that we can make
He got
sense of the
bullied at
picture.
school.
Number 8. The lilac chaser.
Oh, it's green. Green
This
circle.
crazy optical illusion, also known as the Pac-Man illusion,
It's running from a
has
green
to do with
circle.
something called negative retinal
That is so
afterimage.
weird.
For this optical illusion to work, you need to stare at the black cross in the center of the circle for about
Okay.
20 seconds.
20,
After about 20 seconds, you will start to see a green circle moving through the lilac ones.
6.
The green circle will start to erase the lilac circles. But as soon as you
11,
shift your eyesight,
12,
you will see the lilac
13,
circles again.
14.
The hues of the lilac and green circle are complementary colors and exist on a neutral background.
19, 20.
With
It's
time, our
normal.
brains integrate
There's
the
nothing
images
wrong
of the
with it.
circles until we see
Let me know if
only
y'all
one
see anything
object
different
moving
in the
around,
comments. I do
the
not.
green dot.
Everything's the
The
same.
lilac dots are, of course, still there.
crap?
Our brains just refuse to see them.
There's nothing. Okay.
Before we move on,
So-
be
yeah,
sure to
subscribe to
subscribe to
Daily
Daily
Top
Top
10
10s with
and Beta
notifications
PCR
on so
while
you
you're
don't
at
miss
that.
any of our videos. Number 7. The Ponzo
This just
illusion.
makes sense. If it's closer.
In this popular optical illusion called the Ponzo illusion,
It's closer.
2
and
lines
shorter?
that are the same length
Huh?
appear to be
It should
different
be
lengths.
longer, or look
The line
longer.
that is closer appears to be shorter than the line that is further away. The illusion is named after Italian psychologist Mario Ponzo
Mario.
because
I
he was
just
the
make fun
first
of all
person
these
to
people. I
demonstrate
don't
this
know why.
illusion
They
in
make it all like
1913. The illusion relies on something called
If y'all
linear
know
perspective.
why the names
The vertical
are
lines
so weird,
grow
leave it
closer
in
as
the
they move
comments,
away,
bro.
which
They're all
suggests to our
like so
minds that the
weird
top
names.
line is further away.
Alright, let's listen.
We believe that the top line would need to be longer if it were further away to be the same length as something nearer. In reality, though, the lines are the same length.
This is so. I don't understand.
Number 6. The Poggendorf illusion.
This. The Poggendorf.
In this illusion, the blue line on the left appears to be lined up with the black line, whereas the black line on the right appears to connect to the red line. However, the lines in both pictures are exactly the same
Oh, just to let you know,
and are
I don't have
connected
a
in
script.
exactly the same way.
So,
The only difference is that the rectangle in the image on the left is a darker shade and blocks out part of the
Makes
lines.
a lot of no sense.
This optical illusion is named after Johann Poggendorf,
Johann,
who
bro,
first
we
discovered
love
it
you.
in 1860. He used this illusion to try to describe how our brains perceive depth. Oddly enough, though, this
This is
optical
so
illusion has never really been fully
weird.
explained. No one knows
Some of them
exactly
are cool,
how this
some of them
optical
are
illusion works,
dumb.
or why we think the 2 lines are connected differently when they
Like,
aren't.
the very first one was. Oh,
Number
huh?
5.
Huh?
The impossible
What am I
triad.
looking at?
At first glance, this optical illusion may not look like much.
Wait, what?
There appears to be 3 prongs that connect into 2 at one end. But the more you look at this illusion,
I'm really
the more
confused.
impossible it seems.
Subscribe.
In fact,
What? Sorry.
if you stare at it long enough, the lines become disorienting. This illusion initially appeared as
Why
graphic art on the
does
cover
he
of
look
Mad
like
magazine
that?
in March 1965.
Why does he look like that?
Also known as the Devil's Fork,
Devil's
or the
Fork?
Impossible
Devil?
Fork.
I just said devil.
The impossible
Devil.
trident relies on our brain's desire to reconstruct 3D imagery. We are trying to make the 2D drawing into a 3D structure, but it's an impossible endeavor. And the harder we try to turn it into a 3D picture,
This is the
the
weirdest
more confusing the
thing
image
I've ever
becomes.
looked at.
Number 4. The curvature blindness illusion.
Curvature.
This fairly new optical illusion was discovered in 2017 by experimental psychologist Kosuke
sound
Takahashi
crazy?
in Japan.
What am I looking at?
The lines in the white area and the
What am
black
I
area
looking at?
appear
Tell me!
wavy or curvy. But to most people, the lines in the gray area appear both wavy and zigzagging. Like most optical illusions, though, you are seeing something that isn't actually there. In reality, all of the lines in the picture are simply curvy. The lines in the gray area are exactly the same as the lines in the white and black
Everything
area.
look the same.
There are no zigzaggy lines. So what's happening here?
So confused
Takahashi
now.
suggests that our brains are in conflict when we view this illusion. He claims that we have more corners in our everyday lives than we do natural curves, so our brains are more accustomed to seeing corners than they are to seeing curves.
I'm
So when we look at this picture, we are
about
forcing
all
our
of this.
brains to see corners or zigzags. We are essentially forcing the curvy lines to become zigzagged. Number 3,
Number
the
3.
Ames room illusion.
I've actually seen this before.
In
on,
this
TikTok.
mind-blowing illusion,
I don't remember
2 people
what
are standing
TikTok
in
it
the
was,
same
though.
room, but one person appears to be much larger than the other person. However,
It's
the 2
fake.
people are
The floor-
actually very similar in
The floor is really
size.
tilted.
The illusion is named after the Ames room in the
Yeah.
Villette Science Museum in Paris. The picture was taken there and then uploaded to social media. But the illusion has nothing to do with the people in the picture. It has to do with
Yep.
the size and shape of the room.
It's all like
The room
on
appears
a
to be
tilt.
square-shaped, and the 2 people appear to be standing in the same depth field. However, the room is trapezoidal-shaped,
Yeah.
so the man in the picture is standing much further back in the room than the woman is. This is a useful optical illusion, and it is often used in movies. In fact, in The Fellowship of the Rings, this very illusion is used in early scenes to make Gandalf seem like he's much bigger than the hobbits. They are in the same room, but it's really just an optical illusion.
All this. is
Number
so
2,
weird.
My wife and my mother-in-law.
Wife, my mother-in-law.
This optical illusion was drawn by British cartoonist William Ely Hill in 1915.
What am I?
It has since become one of the most famous
I don't-
optical illusions of all
no.
time. And although there are other optical illusions where 2 different pictures or images can be seen,
Oh, I see
My
two
Wife and My
faces.
Mother-in-Law actually reveals something about the viewers. Viewers either see an old woman, the mother-in-law, or a young woman facing towards the back,
Yes.
the wife. But researchers in Australia wanted to learn more about this famous optical illusion, so they gathered data from 393 participants.
Yeah.
In 2018, the results were published in the scientific reports.
Understand.
Participants ranged in age from 18 to 68. The participants on the younger side of the age range saw the wife, while the participants on the older side saw the mother-in-law. This suggests that who you see in the picture is directly related to your age. Furthermore, participants had a hard time seeing the other picture. The picture they initially saw was the dominant picture, suggesting on some level that our
I see
perception is
a woman.
somewhat dominated by our age.
Oh,
Number
I see
1.
it now.
Ninio's extinction
I
illusion.
saw it. What am I looking at?
If you have seen this image before in social media,
Yes.
you're not alone. The Ninio's extinction illusion has claimed social media fame as viewers try to sort out how many black dots there are in the picture.
There's 4.
The picture is
Wait,
comprised of a grid of
where I
vertical,
look at,
horizontal,
I
and diagonal lines.
It's really weird.
In the picture, there are 12 black dots at various intersections. But your brain will not allow you to see all the 12 black dots at once. So when you look at the picture, it
Well,
becomes
I
almost
see all of them.
impossible to count how many black dots you are seeing because the black dots keep shifting.
12.
The illusion is named after French scientist Jacques Ninio.
Jock.
The theory behind what is happening when we look at this picture is a source of contention, as neurologists don't know for sure why we can't see all the dots. But one theory is that we have more neurons at the center of our vision, so we can't see things as well in our peripheral. The black dot then is solid when we look right at it, but it becomes invisible in our peripheral, which is why the dots are constantly appearing and disappearing, depending on where we look. Knowing that there are 12 black dots but being unable to see them all is both frustrating and fun, which is why Ninio's extinction illusion has earned the top spot on this list of top 10 optical illusions that will blow your mind. Check out our previous videos on the top 10 of...
You are dead to me, 'cause what you said to me cut so deep, and now you're dead to me. Dead to me, you were a friend to me, but I put you to sleep.